entrepreneurship is like, it is not a knowledge what you gain, or it is not a skill set what you can learn from somebody's life or something. It is how you live, or it is your lifestyle, or it is the art of doing business. So entrepreneurship is a art or a style of doing business, and there are a lot of steps to be taken care of, and yeah, we are going to discuss on those steps. Introduction from the department area of interest, instrumentation engineering, which I did my engineering background as well. So I was responsible for designs and project construction and commissioning of various oil equipments in the downstream area of oil and gas. So there are multiple areas in inside oil and gas sector. So I was specialization in this downstream equipment designing. So later I started my own firm by 2019, and I was the managing director of Trend Instrumentation Automation Private Limited, responsible for strategic designings and business development, project execution of various automation and engineering projects, mainly focusing on public sector unit companies. So our main customers were Bharat Petroleum, Indian Oil, Hindustan. Even we have done jobs for ONGC, GAIL. So these customers, we used to do feasibility, as-built engineering, automation related projects to them. So I was handling the sector of this detail engineering and as-built engineering there. During the period of my heading the Trend Instrumentation company, I was awarded twice, and once in 2015 it was Youngest Entrepreneur of the Year, and by 2017 it was Best Automation Consultant in South India. So both were from central government bodies. And 2018-19 I was part of management board for Spacey Education startup. It is a mentor finding web application. So mainly connecting students and the mentors who are interested in their own skills. So I was a part of the Spacey management team. And 2019 we merged Trend with Crion Technologies to have a technological upliftment, and I started my role as a president and business development specialist in oil and gas for Crion Technologies. It's an IIT Madras incubation company, mainly focusing on deep technologies like augmented reality for industries, or IoT, or machine learning and artificial intelligence for industrial applications. So Crion Technology is basically a software development company. So I merged a Trend along with Crion because we wanted to build a product on digital twin space for industries. Earlier, I used to do detail engineering. The upgradations of detail engineering are nothing but 3D intelligent models of plants, which we wanted to build along with the Crion technology. So I took the role of president, and I merged both the companies together, and now it is in single brand name called Crion Technologies. So also I'm the founder of Clonos. Clonos is our product, our indigenous product, or our own in-house developed product for digital twin application. So it's a 3D model, the digital twin application for industrial management, like operations and maintenance management. So it was developed along with the team of Karthik and Ratish. Both are IIT graduates from 2016 actually. So Clonos and Clonos I are multiple products of digital twin. And 2021, I mean late of 20, I have joined as a board member for multiple industries in taking key strategic designs. Like Cardell Industries is one in biomedical segment, Tessalt is in electrical vehicle segment, and Diffusion Cotec is in material treatment segment, material treatments. So these are multiple segment companies which I was handling the automation part of these sectors, and involved in business key decisions as well. So 2021 we have registered a separate entity called Crion Skilltet, and I'm a director of it, which we are closely working with IIT Bombay in developing industrial simulations for engineering graduates as well as for research fellows who wanted to have access to industries from a virtual atmosphere. So we are developing a simulation factory for them where they can train themselves on factory related activities like operations, automation, maintenance, calibration. So these kind of thing can be virtually done from the any devices like a laptop or mobile phone. So this is about my introduction. In my various business roles, I have handled key responsibilities like customer acquisition, strategic designs, or go-to-market plan, or fundraising. So these are my major involvements in all of these companies. So this is a short introduction about me, and let's get into the actual business. So yes, these are few words which I always remember about business. I wanted to make sure you're also on track with what is actually business. It is not always about sales and money. It is always about the trust we build with our customers. This should be your key point when you think about any business. You can make money from any business, but when you build more customers or when you acquire more market shares, then that is your actual business rather than earning money out of it. Money will be a part of your flow of business, and it will be helpful in building your business again and also your personal growth, but it is not the main motive of setting up a business. Motive of business is finding a problem, finding a solution to it, and building customer base. So that is the main part of any business. That is a very good saying about branding. What we generally think about branding is we have to put some advertisements, we have to put some keyword or Facebook advert. These kind of branding activities is what we generally think about. But generally, what the industrial experts say about branding is it's not about what we say about our company. It is always about what our customers say about us. That is the actual branding. That kind of branding, if it is developed, definitely your business cannot be stopped by anyone. Yeah, so it is always like, don't sell your solution or your product, create an experience to your customers. Whenever I say this word, it can be equally matched with any Apple product where you can experience the solution. You're not giving cash or buying a product from them. It is indirectly happening, but what Apple is actually creating is an experience. So those kind of experience has to be created in any businesses rather than purely a money transactions. A business that makes nothing but money is actually a poor business. It's all pure mantras of industrial experts. Don't just blindly focus on money. It is a part of your business, but main motive is building a customer relationship. If you're not gaining knowledge or connections or earning money, you're wasting your time. Better stop it. If you're not having any of these three for a particular period, like in person you're not gaining knowledge, or you're not expanding your network base or customer base or connections in your business, or in turn if you're not getting any money in return out of your time spent, then definitely you have to rethink on your business plan, or better stop wasting your time in it. It should be either you should not gain knowledge or some technology know-how from your business, or it should be establishing a vast connection of customer base through your business, or it should be earning money out of it. If nothing is happening in your business, better stop it. The first and foremost which I want to put it into everybody's mind is, not always think about investing money in anything. Initially it should be always about investing your time. That is the first key investment what you do in any business. I get some calls from students on advice, or I'm also part of this organization called CITIC. It's Chennai Innovation and Technological Incubation Center. So through those connects as well, there will be some startups who are contacting me. Generally, what they think in their mind is, if I have money like 5 lakh or 10 lakh, I can spend on everything. Feasibility study, I can spend 10,000 rupees. To prepare a business plan, I can spend 10,000 rupees. For setting up a website, I can spend around 10,000. To register a company, I can spend around 10,000. So everything I can just spend some money and get things done out of it. It's not the right business at all. It's not the first stage of business at all. You should initially spend your time, not your money. Do all your things in person. Your personal effort should be seen in all your initial activities from scratch, finding a solution. Learn the technology and build a solution, not just outsource things to get things done. Like for example, if you want to have a application built, learn how to do programming and build your own application. If you want to do a sales properly, do initial ground sales on your own, then expand your team as per requirement of the business. So everything, it should be done initially in person. I used to do all my activities in my trend instrumentation. I used to do site visit. I used to provide the quotation. I used to get order and execute everything on my own, and then bill it, raise the fund. So everything initially, it was a one man company, and later we expanded from 1 to 5, then 5 to 10, then we expanded up to 57 when we planned of merging it with Crion technology. It should be an expansion. It should not be like acquiring everything in the initial phase with money. You will not be gaining knowledge through this kind of acquisition with money. Invest your time. That is the right thing to be done in any early stage of ideation. Ideation itself, it's a word which should start from you. It should not be from somebody else, because the key person who's till the end having a confident in the business idea is only the founder. Because people will come in, move out, there will be investors will get their money out, there will be customers will leave, employees will leave, but the founder alone will have the strength to run the organization on a single hand. So you should gain that confidence by investing the time in the early stage. Yeah, so these are few wordings from experts. Like, before you invest in something, invest the time to understand it. Don't just jump into something because it is attractive, because it is created so that to attract people. You don't just blindly believe those. Study, understand things, then start doing activities into business. You cannot just blindly jump into something. I have heard few cases like, my friends are calling to do this, or I have somebody in social media connect who is asking like, invest 10 lakh rupees, we'll start a business together. Business doesn't happen in that way. Business happen through long-term relationships. You have to know each other. You have to understand their skill sets. The team should be formed as per the requirement. Like, I have particular skills of marketing, then I have to join with the person who is having skills on technology. Then there should be a person who has skills on operations. It is not just because three friends are joining together. It is because three skill sets are joining together to form a company. So invest time in understanding these team formations in business ideologies and all. Just don't blindly hear something and start executing things. If I had 9 hours to chop down a tree, I'll spend first 6 hours sharpening my axe. This is all about investment time. There's no explanation required. It is clearly understood. Invest your time first before you invest any resources into it. When you invest your time and energy is where you invest your life. Invest wisely. So yeah, this is again another ideation related core subject. Business is not about just idea. It is about how we execute things. Execution adds more percentage than the idea. Instance, I have a very innovative idea. Say like, I want to build a technology to bridge the gap between probably now the current situation is like pandemic COVID, nobody can travel to school, there is a lot of learning losses happening. I want to bridge the gap between the student and the teacher. So if you find an idea, then do a lot of research into it, find a proper business plan, and then proving or making it a successful product, or reaching out customers is purely on execution. Execution makes 70% of the ideas into a success. If you just have an idea, talking to a lot of people, or thinking about it, or researching, and then finding people to outsource things, this will not be considered as an execution, or this will be just a waste of time in your career. Better have a proper idea, start executing in a very proper plan, long term schedule and short term plans, where you have micro level strategies properly planned, go to market plan you have, then start executing it in a proper way so that you can reach your success. And then finally 5%, it is in nobody's hand, it is all about good fortune what we have. Because I have seen a lot of companies, same ideology, same product, but customers will absorb products from one company, but the other company will be like without any fund resource or cash inflow, or without any customers. So it's all about that 5% magic what is in your hand. It is not predictable. So 90%, 95% is in your hand. Please do work towards it. There's no one to stop, but it is only yourself who are going to stop if you're not planning your business properly. You must have great business ideas, but if you never take any action on them, you have nobody but yourself to blame. Yeah, idea is just 25% or even less than that. Idea is just a part of your business. How you groom your idea, how you attract your team to build that product, how you attract investors to fund your product. So all these are parts of execution. Your execution is your major part of any ideology. Time. So as I said earlier, your investment early stage should be only time. This is the right thing which you should always keep in your mind about time. Time isn't the main thing, but it's the only thing for any startup. Because even now, there are a lot of grants available. I hope you have heard about government grants for startup programs. Even we have received some grants, about 30-40 lakhs from government to develop this digital twin solutions, and we are expecting about 2 crores from PSU to develop our product. So these kind of grants are invested into companies to develop a product. But you can have I mean, you can just know about these things. No grant should be utilized for founders salaries, or in other way, remuneration should not be taken from any grant. What it means is, the founders should spend 100% of their time, invest 100% of their time into some product development or service development, so that government can spend 100% of its cost for development. If you are ready to spend your 100% time, government is ready to spend 100% money for your development. So that is the commitment level of incubation ecosystem in outside your campus. Even inside campus, I have discussed with R.M.D management for some incubation supports and all. They're also very much supportive in startup culture. If you have a good idea, if you can prove them it is working, and if you can prove them you have the technical knowledge to build that particular product, then definitely our management also will be ready to invest. So anybody will be ready to invest money, but you should be ready to invest your 100% time, because it is very important to run your business. Nobody is busy here. It is all about priorities we set. Actually, I've seen few people saying, I'm busy, I don't have time. It means they are putting their time into something of high priority. Maybe your priority would be entertainment, maybe my priority would be business, or somebody's priority would be learning. So they have multiple priorities. So when you say I'm busy, it means your priorities are not properly set, or you have a very different priority and you are not my priority. So that is what this busy word means. So always set a priority. I have a particular prioritization and delegation matrix listed here. So maybe there is something called as 2 minutes practice for entrepreneurs. So everybody should plan a day within 2 minutes in the morning. So maybe you can also try putting this prioritization and delegation matrix in your first 2 minutes of your day. Generally, all this business MBA graduates and all, they generally have this thumb rule. They'll be having a notepad and a pen always near their bed, uh, or where they sleep actually. So why they have this notepad and a pen is, even during their sleep or during their dream, or the first minute they get up of their bed, they used to write their daily plans in the notepad. So maybe try practicing it. It is called 2 minutes. So if you are willing to put a 2 minutes plan for a day, probably you will be prioritizing things and properly executing your ideology. So how we'll prioritize is you'll be putting up list of tasks, and you have to assign those tasks in any of these column, like high priority, low priority, can be delegated, cannot be delegated. So delegated means you can outsource to someone, and in case you cannot outsource to someone, so you have to select all these activities in any of these column. Yeah, it could be should do or must do or could do or would do. So whichever column it falls, then you have to start your activities accordingly. So your high priority task will be initially completed, moving towards the low priority. The next day, this low priority will be pushed to high priority. As such, like the activities will be completed on day by day basis. So this is being followed by all top management people. It could be a CEO, CTO, CFO, COOs, or even presidents, or even the marketing heads, operation heads, design heads, whoever is the key person in driving an organization. Generally, they have this prioritization matrix filled in every day, so that their days, their 10 hours or 12 hours or their 14 hours is properly planned. They don't even want to waste their 2 minutes of time in their day. So this is your prioritization and delegation matrix. Then it comes to money. So initially we were talking a lot about time. So time is a key factor of driving into your any business. The second priority is all about money. uh, if you have a proper plan, there are a lot of grants or investors who are ready to fund. Maybe you would have heard about a lot of angel investors, VCs, who are ready to fund millions and millions or even billions of dollars into your organization. You have seen a lot of unicorns as well. All these happens only if you can prove them you have a proper traction of sales. Just for ideology, of course, you can get 2 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh of funds to develop your product. And once the product is developed, then it is all about customer tractions. So based on customer tractions, definitely your sale can, I mean, your fundraise or even fund inflows can be smoothly monitored. So money fuels your passion to move forward, but fuel is not the only need to reach your goal. So if you are driving a vehicle, can you imagine only with fuel you can drive? You need air pressure, you need your engine oil, you need your I mean proper air circulation system. A lot of things are required to drive a vehicle. So similarly, money is also part of your vehicle, which is prime, but it is not just the only driving force of your business. If you have a proper plan and attraction, definitely money will casually flow into your business. It needs thousands of coordinations. So business is all about coordinating a lot of people's time, because when you are an individual or when you're working for some company or an organization, it is just about managing your time and managing your activities. But when you're leading your organization or you're an entrepreneur, you should manage to coordinate a lot of people, a lot of money, a lot of material. Everything should align together so that you finish your product or your project. So it is about handling thousands of plus coordinations every day to reach your final destination. So this is about the money management. And the other task, these tasks generally we don't learn from books, or we don't have this idea about either the time management or the money management or the people management, these kind of skills. That is why business is always about the art. I mean, it is not just the engineering or the skill sets what we have. It is again about art of handling people. So if you can't sell your business to your own employees and make them work for you, you would sell. How would you sell it to your customers? When you can't make your employees work toward your goal by explaining your business plan, how would you expect a customer to invest his money into your product? So first, convincing part happens from you. You should be convinced, and the second part is your employees or team. Team should be convinced, and the third part is investments or the grants should be convinced, and then the customer should be convinced. So a lot of convincing is about business. It is not just like I say you buy. It never happens. Even you find the richest person in the world, he has to convince people, and because he has money, he can just he never be harsh to anyone. You can see a lot of top people, business people, they never be harsh to someone, because their major part is convincing. They have to convince someone indirectly or directly to make things move. They never shout or be harsh to someone to get things done. They will convince easily people to do things. So that's the main part you have to learn to be an entrepreneur. Managing people is the first and the foremost skill every entrepreneur should have. You should manage your time, money, and equally people of multiple levels: skilled, unskilled, different language, different demographic, different financial backgrounds, different behavioral backgrounds. But you should, since it is your organization, you should be in a position to manage everyone, starting from the least paid person to the top paid person. You should be in a part to handle everybody in the company. It's about people management. Okay, so now coming about the innovative ideas, or initially we were talking about what is the requirement of a good business. Now it is about the idea phase, when to start, and I have another slide, when to stop. It is purely based on my experience or my 7 years of entrepreneurship, what I have done, lost, gained. This is what gave me these points to fill in these slides. So, when to start a business? When you personally believe there is a problem in your current practice. It could be anywhere. It could be your daily bus travel to your college, it could be in your mess, you find food waste, or it could be in your energy consumption during your class hours, or at your home, or it could be during any practice which you have felt there is a problem in it. Definitely that is where your business should start. It is not like somebody is complaining about something. You should personally feel there is a problem with the practice. There is that is the starting point of any ideology. I have seen few students start business because they have heard about it somewhere, or because they read about it somewhere, or because they have a common friend who's working on this. He has earned it, so I also want to start business and earn it. That is not the way of starting any business. It should be personally felt. You should be the first customer. If I develop a product or a solution, I should be the first customer in buying it. So, whenever you think about a problem, first think, have you ever faced this problem, and how serious is this problem? And can we start putting effort into finding a solution for this problem? It can be technical or it can be non-technical. Business need not be technical always, it can be non-technical as well. But the problem should be your personal problem. Maybe it could be in your laboratory, or it could be currently through your virtual laboratories. You're finding some problem in handling those equipments virtually. Find a solution to it. You have your sessions, virtual sessions happening every day. You feel there is no interaction levels, or you feel the learning losses are more than 70% because of these e-classes. Find a solution to it. So any problem you personally feel it is happening to you, find a solution to it. This is the first stage of the ideology. When you have a solution to a current problem, you should start a business. First is when you have a problem, then the second thing is when you have a solution to that problem. Don't ask people for solution, then that is not your ideology. You can get advice, you can iterate your solution, you can change your solution face by face, improvise it. All this can happen, but just don't blindly ask a solution to somebody. Right, I hope you understand. It should be your solution, but it can be iterated multiple times. This electrical vehicle startup, right, from IIT Madras here. So it's not their first product which they have launched in the market. It is their 16th project, or it is their 16th iteration, or 16th product which is tested successfully, then they come into market. Even Apple, it is not their first product which they launch into market which is successful. They have multiple iterations, but the product is their own. The solution should be yours. It should be yours, but you can iterate it multiple times. When you technically know how to solve the problem, start it, or please don't start it. If you think 50% I can technically manage my product, then you are ready to go ahead with that particular business. I have seen few people who are nowhere related to some sector. Probably, I'll just give an example like an instrumentation engineer who's planning to put up a mechanical shed. He is nowhere related to mechanics, or he is nowhere experienced or trained or educated in that background. Then how could he put up a mechanic shed and run his own business? He can hire someone, he can depute people, he can pour in money, but he won't be successful in it, right? Because it is your first business. But I totally agree what is your point, like whether Reliance has good knowledge in maybe refining. How did he start up his Reliance Industries refinery industry? Yes, I totally agree with that, but he started in textiles. He had a huge cash reserve to pump into any industry he wanted to jump. If you still have that much of cash reserves, you can start anything. Maybe you can launch your own rocket. It is all up to you. But if you have cash reserves, you can do. But if you are, it is your first startup, you are going to raise funds out of it, definitely stick on with technological know-how of that particular solution. It should be minimum 50% your own brain. You cannot invest everything to somebody else or outsource everything. It should be your knowledge or your technical thing, or train it or gain those knowledge. If you have an idea, you think that particular idea cannot be executed by me, first do a 6 months program, 1 year program, train that knowledge, gain experience, then again start your business, right? So without technical know-how, please don't start your business. When you think the problem you solve is a common problem for most of the people, this is to understand the market size. So generally in any investments or any ideologies, this market size plays a major role. Why is when you derive a solution or a product, it should not be like a two-digit market size, say 10 crore market size, or it cannot be like just 50 crore market size. It should be a huge market size so that you can expand it in multiple domains, demographics, or you can improvise your product to reach multiple domains. You can start acquiring the market share by share. So these cannot be happening in just a very small market size of 5 crore or 10 crore, right? So when you want to scale up your idea, or you have to grow in your ideology, then it should be an expandable market size. So the first thing you should once the solution is identified is verifying how many people have similar problems. What is the market size of that problem, right? This study has to be done personally. Again, don't outsource these activities to somebody else. When you know nobody is doing it already, this is to understand the competitors. You should study your competitors properly before jumping into any market. When you're confident enough to start it, then it is the right time to go ahead with it. So this is the main ideology phase points you should remember when to start a business. Maybe ideology, or it can be a prototype designing, or it can be a testing phase, or it can be a go to market phase, or it can be a fundraise phase. Whatever it is, just the starting phase of it should be with all these answers. If you have answers for all these, you can definitely start. And yeah, so not all businesses will be successful. There will be good times and bad times for all businesses. Even for top limited companies, even a multi-million dollar company will face tough times. So when to take a decision or to stop things, that is also equally important, right? So you should also have an exit plan. It can be a safe exit or a crash exit, but you should also have an exit plan. When to stop. So when you have a technical dependency which is more than 50%, say you are 75% depending somebody else to build your own product, then definitely early phase it is better to stop. You should be the master who's building their product. When financial requirement in building the solution is more than 5 times the problem cost itself, then definitely you should think twice in your solution. Because once you develop the product, people should not think the cost of your product is higher than the current practice itself. Then people will better plan to go ahead with the current practice. So your cost involved in developing the solution or product is also equally important. When your solution is not solving the problem completely, you cannot convince a customer stating half of your problem is solved and half will be solved within 6 months. The customer will not be convinced or he'll not be ready to take your product. So your solution to the product should be 100%. Once you feel you are convinced, go to the customer. Once customer is 100% convinced, definitely he'll take the product. Don't go with to the market with half solutions. When development time for the solution is more than 18 months because of the technological developments happening, rapid technology development. If your development time for a particular solution or a product is more than 18 months, definitely even the incubators or investors will not support, and also the problem itself will change. Now things are changing within 18 months time span. So if you take more than 18 months to develop your product, better think of a different solution. It should not happen in 18 months. When you think of it is like not working for the third time in your business, better you should take a call in shutting it up. Because first time you think maybe as a businessman you should be persistent in your goals. You'll be forced to go ahead with your business. And when second time it is about your personal disturbances, you may feel the business is not going right. Maybe third time or fourth time you're feeling that the business is not happening perfectly. Business is main the decision maker of your business is your intuitions. So when you think your business is not happening properly, definitely you should take a call on it. So this is all about when to start and when to stop your business. Maybe if you have any
Sir, like
yes.
just I want to ask this. Don't you think 3 times is a bit uh, too less to quit?
Uh, no, it is not like just 3 times. It is about a period. When you have this repetition of question whether it is working or not, because you should be the 100% confident person in your business. You should be always in the ideology of this is going to be a hit in the market. When you already have this question of whether it is working or not, then maybe 3 times is also high is what I think. If you have this question in your 6 month or in your 8th month of your business and you say I should rethink on my plan, definitely you should take a call there.
Okay, what I understand is to go back to the drawing board with the flow of intuition.
Yeah, recheck your business plan, recheck your solution, recheck your team, financial status, customer understandings, market feedbacks, rework on things.
Yeah, now I get it.
Yeah, so this is about to do's of your business. Uh, Study this is all about what we have discussing currently. Study the problem, experience the problem personally, study the market, create a solution architecture for it on your own. Don't outsource it. Develop your skills if you are not skilled in that particular technology. Invest your time first. Don't invest your money into it. Raise funds, build your team to develop a market ready product. Approach customers for pilot sale. Have some initial pilot sales. Don't just launch a product in a very grand level. Have a beta product sale for a very initial stage. Get feedbacks, redevelop your product, rethink your strategies, then hit the market with full-fledged. So these are the to do's which I personally suggest for any entrepreneurs to have the right business plan. Innovation and business is equally important because it is not just innovation in your early stage. It should be innovation in every stages of your business. You can just imagine Apple. Do you think they have stopped their innovation after reaching the world's number one stage of manufacturer? No, they still have their innovation team. Why do all companies have their research and development centers? They want their team to be innovative always. They want their product to be improvised in every single stage. There is no end of any product development or services. It should be improvised to stay in the market. When you really think a product has reached a stage where there is no improvisation is required, definitely the product will die. Maybe you should have seen a lot of such products as even for social media. There were earlier social platforms which died. Even for mobile phones, there were few manufacturers who didn't improvise for the current technological situation, then they died. There are a lot of examples for it. So if you don't have plans of innovation, or you don't have your innovative thinking in every stages of your business, definitely it is tough time for your business in a long run. True innovation is coming up with a product that the customer didn't even know they needed it. So that is how the current business strategies are. The customers will not be aware of the solution. They just have the problem. So they don't even know whether a product or a solution will serve the purpose itself. So that kind of product is what you should think, or that kind of service is what a good ideation is. So the customer, you should make the customer think there is a different way of approach to doing this activity. By doing this activity, you can save time or save effort or save money. Some kind of savings is going to happen if you are executing my product. So innovation can only make this confidence in you to sell your product to your customers. So innovation and business is always equally important in every stages of it, starting from ideation till reaching the end. Don't just take a market ready product, redesign it. I have seen few even fresh minds coming up with like that. They just take a random idea which is already available in the market, redesign it, rethink it, then they pitch it again as an idea to the investors. Investors can easily find it out, and that is not the right way of entrepreneurship at all. Find your own solution to the product, but you should also have market knowledge. You should go through the competitors product. You should also experience competitors product, what they give. You have to find a better solution to reach the customers. Okay, finally, is there any good or a bad idea? I don't think any idea is a good or a bad idea. So it is all about what the ideas is going to give you at the end. So what do you need from your business? Initially, business needs a lot of your support, but probably down the line, say 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, you get a lot of returns from your business. You should have heard about these kind of sayings like, if you want to live like nobody has lived, you should work like nobody has done already. So you should spend 24 by 7 of your hours in developing your business in the initial phases where your business needs your support. Later, your business will definitely support you in all aspects. Financially, uh, you can have the pride of running your business, international presence, connections, your growth. You can support hundreds of lives for their livelihood. All this will come only when there is an initial hard work spent into it. So it is not about good idea or bad idea. How much time, money you spend into your business initial phases will be your returns coming out of it. So what you want as a return of your investment, you should initially set as a goal. What are you good at doing? What do you like to do? What would you like to learn to do? So these should be the initial questions. You should find answers internally or from your own, so that you can think whether the idea suits you. It is not about market suitability, it is about your suitability for the business. It may be a good solution which you have identified, or it could be a better product which you have invented. But if you are not a good entrepreneur, then definitely you cannot reach the customer at all. All right, technical developments are different and business developments are entirely different. You should be 50-50 of each. You cannot be an 100% scientist and do a business. You cannot be 100% businessman just to copy a product and sell it. You won't win in either. It should be 50-50. You should be technically sound 50, and you should be business you should have business skills 50% minimum. So you should know what you are good in. That is the prime in deciding whether it is a good idea or a bad idea. So finally, a key takeaway which I want to share to my friends here is, if you're scared uh, in doing business, please don't start your activities into it. There's a very famous saying in this particular content. Business is like jumping out of a flying plane, building your own parachute to reach your destination, that is your land. This is how business is being done. You just jump blindly, having confidence in you, but on the go you train yourself, skill upgrade your skills, build a product, use the product. That is why you should be the first customer in using your product. Reach your destination, land your destination, reaching multiple customers. But if you fail in any stage, in the sense you're not upgrading your skills, then definitely you can't build a parachute. Or if you're not your first customer, then definitely you can't build your parachute. Or if you're opening your parachute in wrong time, then time, money, people management, everything is important to reach your destination. So if you are really ready to jump off of a flying plane with that confident, then do it. Not just because my friend is doing it, I want to do it. Not just because Oyo Room Nitish has done it, I want to do it. It is not just like because somebody else is doing it, I want to do it. It is because you want to do it personally. You jump off the plane, build your parachute, and land safely. It is only 10% of business is successful. Whatever top brands you name, it is all falling in this 10% category. Even this 10%, it doesn't mean they survive for hundreds of years together, but at least they are in successful stages. 90% of the business fail. You can just take a list of companies registered in ROC. ROC is a register of companies. You can have lakhs and lakhs of companies, but you can list down hardly 100 companies who are very successful in India. So hardly 10% of the companies are succeeding. 90% fails because of various reasons, not just because of the founder. It may be because of the market fluctuation, or it could be competitors crashing them, or it could be the team itself will split up. Many reasons are there for a company's failure, but you should be prepared that 90% there is a plan to exit your company, but it should be a safe exit. That is why always investors ask for a safe exit plan. Like once you're planning to exit your organization, how would you exit? How would you sell? Who will be your buyers? When you're planning to sell, how much returns will you get? Will it be equivalent to your time you have spent? So these kind of exit plans you should be properly planning. And finally, business is not a skill. You cannot learn business at all. It should be your lifestyle, it should be your attitude, it should be your day-to-day activity, what you do. Business is that kind of thing. Final thoughts, of course, it is like summarizing whatever we have discussed till now. You can just randomly go through. So probably I think I have taken much of your time. Maybe we can just go for an open discussion for maybe 2 to 5 minutes and then end the show. Any queries, you can just shoot it.
Sir, I just want to ask this: how did you manage through this pandemic, sir?
Yeah, so there is a program called SASACT. It mainly focuses on post-COVID development. Actually, this pre-COVID and post-COVID is going to become an era. Uh, so these are two different technological variations. A revolution is happening in technological space, pre-COVID and post-COVID. Even you can take your education sector, immediate 100% jump over e-learnings have happened during this COVID. Even industries earlier it was a very rare remote asset management happening, but now people are jumping towards remote asset management to maintain their plants remotely. So a lot of technological deviations are happening pre-COVID and post-COVID. These two are different two time zones. So post-COVID, what all technologies are there? What is going to be the future? If you can predict it wisely, there are people and industries who are ready to accept your solution. So pre-COVID, we were into some kind of engineering and technological developments for industries. But during this COVID time, we entirely changed our technology to go through virtual reality space, and we developed our solutions entirely on VR-based remote asset management. So that is how we survived our pandemic, from changing our solutions from site support to virtual supports. So we are good enough to reach multiple customers in this particular digital twin space for industries, and we are projecting a good traction of sales in upcoming years, because post-COVID technologies are not going to wind off after COVID is gone. So this is going to be the future. A complete changeover has happened, which is not um, what they call it is like an irreplaceable or irrecoverable changes has happened. So these changes are not going to go back at all. So we have to adapt ourselves to these changes, and companies have started adapting, organizations, industries, investors, everybody has started adapting this post-COVID technologies. So we also changed to post-COVID technologies, and we have started building solutions around it. That is how we survived.